Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of All Ride. My name is Doug Bird and thank you for tuning in. So over the last couple of weeks you'd have seen a bit more of a focus across our channels on the sport of enduro mountain biking, and there are two very good reasons for that. First and foremost, I've recently got a new enduro bike, and secondly, the Enduro Western Cape events have been happening and in pretty close succession. Now, in moving from a trail bike to a more enduro focused bike has made me realize that things go a lot faster downhill, and with that in mind I've needed to upgrade in some of the safety gear that I've been riding with, and most notably in this case it was my helmet. Now, I've owned this helmet for some time, but only recently, having gotten an enduro bike, I've only really been riding with it for the last month or so. It's time to do a review on the FOX PROFRAME helmet. Let's take a closer look at what this helmet is all about. So what were FOX trying to create in this ProFrame full face helmet? If you go onto their website, they'll tell you that they were looking to create something that was incredibly breathable, lightweight, but also something that could handle gnarly free riding and enduro riding. How's it stacked up versus those claims? In my experience, it's pretty much lived up to all of those statements and possibly gone beyond that in some ways as well. If we're looking at this helmet, the real reason you're going to be getting this is ultimately for protection. But of course, we have to look at the positive attributes of the weight of this helmet, as well as the incredible ventilation that comes along with it. Looking at this thing, we've got over 6 ventilation ports on it on the actual head. And of course, the chin bar area is also incredibly well ventilated. And that goes a long way, especially in the summer months where it does get a bit warmer, it does get a bit hotter, and you want something that is as breathable as possible. If we look inside of the helmet as well, this is for me where it really starts to get interesting. The padding in here is incredibly comfortable and it's very strategically placed, which speaks a lot to the comfort and wearability of this helmet. I found that I can go on rides for hours where I'm completely comfortable, and yes, sure, I'm sweating a little bit more than I would be in a half shell, for example, but I know ultimately the protection is worth it, but it's also not nearly as bad as your traditional full face helmet, that is for sure. In this particular version that I'm holding here, it comes with Mips. So what is Mips? Mips stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System. It is described as a slip plane technology. So this works inside the helmet and is designed to reduce the rotational forces that can result from certain impacts. And this has been revolutionary in the helmet space. It's enabled riders to be safer and recover from bigger impacts more quickly. Another aspect of this helmet that we want to talk about is the visor. Now, some may like it, some may not like it. I'm kind of in between. I love the sun protection aspect that it does hold when you're riding directly into sun, and that it casts a great shadow over your face. But the one frustration is that it isn't one that is adjustable. It is in a fixed position. So a lot of helmets now offer the opportunity for you to take your goggles off and simply slide them up onto your helmet. With this helmet, you're going to have to take your goggles completely off and have them around your neck, or reverse them and put them onto the back of your helmet. So I would say that the peak is both a positive and a negative on this helmet. Another aspect to look at is how wearable this helmet is with either sunglasses or with goggles. And in my experience, both have really worked well here. I ride with the Oakley Jawbreaker, and I found that the coverage of the lens is great on my face. It's got nice skinny arms as well, and it fits into this helmet very comfortably. I also ride with a variation of goggles, and I found that the general structure of this helmet and the lines of this helmet holds the strap in position very, very nicely, and it makes for a very comfortable goggle riding experience. One of the aspects I enjoy the most about this helmet is the chin strap, and that is of course with the magnetic release and closing mechanism that it offers when you're putting this helmet on. There's nothing worse than trying to struggle with buckles, and they've really nailed this. It's super easy to use, it's easy to clean, it's easy to maintain. So this is definitely a highlight for me on the FOX ProFrame helmet. Normally in wearing a full face helmet, your hearing is also often compromised, and that's of course because there's a lot of padding around you, and of course your ears are mostly undercover. But in this particular helmet, despite your ears being covered, the hearing in here, or the ability to hear with this helmet on, is actually very good. You don't have to take it off to talk to your mates, and I would say that is also definitely an upside. So in summary, let's take a look at the pros and the cons of this helmet. For me, the pros far outweigh the cons. The only cons that I could add to this helmet is the fact that it's quite difficult to get on my head in the first place. That being said though, it's I think got very little to do with the design of this helmet and more to do with my odd-shaped head. And secondly is the non-adjustable visor. Here, yes, of course, you do have to take your goggles on and off, but for me, that's no biggie either. It's nice to get your goggles off your face sometimes and let them breathe. All in all though, I can highly recommend this product. The build quality is great, it looks badass, it's light, it's well ventilated, and it's definitely going to look after you out on the trails.